6:15. This is the Sri Lanka Broadcasting Corporation. Here is the news edited by Lal Mallavarachi and read by J. Yogaraj. First, the headlines. Tens of thousands of pilgrims visit Anuradhapura and surrounding areas today as well. Litro Gas Company reduces the prices from midnight tonight. Landslide warning issued for several districts. Sri Lanka elected Vice President of UN General Assembly. Sri Lanka and Maldives assess the progress of bilateral relations. In news overseas, India's railway minister says a signal fault the likely cause for the train disaster. In sports, Sri Lanka wins silver and bronze medals at the Asian Junior Athletic Championship in South Korea. And those are the headlines. Our correspondents say that tens of thousands of pilgrims have come to Anuradhapura and surrounding areas today as well to mark the Pusun Day. Atamasthaniya, Tantrimalaya and Mihintale sacred areas are full of devotees at present. Many devotees observe Sil today as well. The Dharmarashmi Posun zone in Pitipana, Homagama opens for public for the second day today, and this will be held until tomorrow. The public can venerate the Nilagiri sacred relics, and that displayed at the Sugata Bimramaya temple in Homagama. These sacred relics were found in the Nilagiri Mahasaya, which is considered to be the second largest Dagaba in the Ampara district. Litro Gas Company has decided to reduce the price of domestic liquefied petroleum gas cylinders with effect from midnight. Accordingly, the price of a 12.5 kilogram cylinder will be reduced by 452 rupees to 3,186 rupees, while the 5 kilogram cylinder was reduced by 181 rupees to 1,281, and the 2.3 kilogram cylinder was reduced by 83 rupees, and the new price is 598 rupees. Meanwhile, LAF Gas yesterday revealed a price revision for their products will also be announced in the near future. The National Building Research Organization today issued an early landslide warning for several districts owing to the inclement weather conditions. Accordingly, a warning was issued for the Bulat Sinhala, Aglawatta, Palinda Nura and Valalavita Divisional Secretariat divisions and its surrounding areas in the Kalatura district. Neluva, Alpitia and Nagoda areas in the Gaul districts, Passara area in the Badulla district are also under landslide threat if rain continues. This news comes to you from Sri Lanka Broadcasting Corporation. Sri Lanka has unanimously been elected as a Vice President of the 78th session of the United Nations General Assembly. Accordingly, Mohan Piris, permanent representative of Sri Lanka to the United Nations, will assume the relevant position for the Asia-Pacific region from 2023 September to 2024 September. Sri Lanka was amongst the 21 countries unanimously named as vice presidents by all 193 member states in accordance with the following pattern. 6 representatives from the South African states, 5 from the South Asia Pacific states, 1 representative from the Eastern European states, 2 representatives from Latin American and Caribbean states, 2 representatives from Western Europe and other states, and 5 representatives from the permanent members of the Security Council. The Police Special Task Force STF officers have raided 2 cannabis plantations in the Yala Reserve and arrested 4 individuals today. Following the information received by the officers of the Buttala camp of the Special Task Force, and raid was carried out in Gonakang Ara Tamitakanda Yala Reserve. The officers have found 42,000 cannabis plants cultivated on an acre-and-a-half-acre plot of land. 2 youths aged 17 and 19 were bathing in the Henanigala Lake in Deyatakandia, drowned this morning. Police said the victims were among the group of around 50 persons from the Habaradua who were on a trip. Police said the residents in the area had admitted the 2 youths to the Deyatakandia hospital and they were pronounced dead after being admitted to the hospital. And that's local news.
The main news story is brought to you by Siddhalepa Vedamahatmya.
The 4th session of the Joint Commission between Sri Lanka and Maldives will be held from the 6th to 7th of June at the Ministry of Foreign Affairs in Colombo. Accordingly, Minister of Foreign Affairs Ali Sabri will co-chair the Joint Commission with his counterpart Abdullah Shahid Minister of Foreign Affairs of Maldives on the 7th June, while a senior officials meeting of a Joint Commission will proceed on the 6th of June. The Joint Commission is expected to enable the two countries to assess the progress of bilateral relations and deliberate on new initiatives and the way forward to further advance cooperation covering multifaceted areas of shared interest, including trade, investment, defense, tourism, fisheries, education, health, employment, youth, sports, and skills development. And that came to you in main news.
The main news story was brought to you by Siddhalepa Vedamahatmya.
In Watchlight, the health sector says that the dengue cases can be increased with the onset of forthcoming monsoon. Dr. Lahiru Kodituaku of the National Dengue Eradication Unit said that it is the responsibility of all to clean their surroundings. A large number of dengue cases have been reported from Colombo and Gampar districts. 50% of the overall dengue cases have been reported from the Western Province. And that was Watchlight. And moving on to world news headlines. India's railway minister says a signal fault the likely cause for the train disaster. 2-year-old girl killed and 22 injured in Dnipro after Russian strike over Ukraine. Used solar panels to become a global environmental disaster. And those are the headlines. India's railway minister has suggested a signal fault led to the Odisha rail disaster with a change in electronic interlocking, the likely cause. Ashwini Vaishnav later said the cause and the people responsible for the deadly train crash in eastern India had been identified but gave no details. A report into India's worst rail accident this century is due later. Meanwhile, the death toll has been revised down to 275 after some bodies were counted twice, officials said. Of the 1,175 injured people taken to hospital, 793 have been discharged. A 2-year-old girl has been killed and 22 injured after an alleged Russian airstrike in the residential area of Ukraine's central city, Dnipro. Her body was pulled from the rubble of the house in the Pidorenska community overnight, and the region's governor said. Sehi Lysak said 5 of those injured were children, with 3 boys in a serious condition in hospital. While they have been promoted around the world as a crucial weapon in reducing carbon emissions, solar panels only have a lifespan of up to 25 years. Experts say billions of panels will eventually all need to be disposed of and replaced. The 1 terawatt of solar capacity. Dr. Rong Deng, an expert in solar panel recycling at the University of New South Wales in Australia, says there could be as many as 2.5 billion solar panels. According to the British government, there are tens of millions of solar panels in the UK. Energy experts are calling for urgent government action to prevent a looming global environmental disaster. And that's world news. Development news. The agreement to construct the 2 first floating solar power plant was signed recently. The government of Korea has spent more than $5 million in this regard. The project is scheduled to be completed at the end of December next year. And that was development news. In sports, Tarishi Karunaratne and Jayeshi Uttara have won 2 medals at the Asian Junior Athletic Championships 2023 currently being held in South Korea. Accordingly, Karunaratne bagged a silver medal, while Uttara won the bronze medal in the women's 400-meter competition.
Go ekakthiyana youth ekata life eke change ekata niyameta set wenna as wahagena daga pugina habe karanna youth ekata niyameta set wenna friendship eka menna.
The all-new NSB Ithru account, NSB IAM, a plan for your dream.
Business News, sponsored by National Savings Bank, the safest place for your money.
Sri Lanka's BPPL Holdings PLC, an exporter of recycled plastics products, and YAM said profits fell 90% to 30 million rupees in March 2023 quarter, and falling export orders and an appreciating rupee. Mainstream economists in US Fed and European Central Bank have tightened policy after printing money to drive up unsustainable demand and trigger supply chain bottlenecks.
Business News, sponsored by National Savings Bank, the safest place for your money.
Go එකක් තියන youth එකට life එකේ change එකට නියමෙට set වෙන්න ඇස් වහගෙන දැකපු හින හැබැයි කරන්න youth එකට නියමෙට set වෙන්න friendship එක මෙන්න.
The all-new NSB Ithru Mithru account, NSB IM, a plan for your dream.
In economic news, the Export Development Board has initiated a one-day workshop to encourage entrepreneurs who are willing to engage in the export sector. The aim of this move is to enhance the relationship between business community and the Export Development Board. And that was economic news. Weather report. The Met Department says the southwest monsoon is likely to be gradually established across the island during the next few days. Showers or thundershowers will occur at times in western, Sabaragamuth, central and southern provinces. Fairly heavy showers above 75 millimeters are likely at some places in the Sabaragamuth province and Gaul, Matra and Kaluthura districts. Several spells of showers will occur in northwestern province. Showers or thundershowers will occur at a few places in the Uva and eastern provinces during the evening or night. And that was the weather report. To wind up this news broadcast, let's look at the main points once again. Tens of thousands of pilgrims visit Anuradhapura and surrounding areas today as well to mark the National Posun Festival. Litro Gas Company reduces the prices from midnight. Landslide warning issued for several districts. Sri Lanka elected Vice President of UN General Assembly. Sri Lanka and Maldives assess the progress of bilateral relations. And with that we conclude the evening news broadcast of Sri Lanka Broadcasting Corporation.